Oh, hello there. Christmas. Am I right? A wonderful time of year when you're able to cuddle up next to family and friends. With your hot chocolate, your eggnog, maybe some water, or in my case, dust. But as a cinephile, one of the best things about Christmas has to be the movies. And nobody does more for Christmas movies than Hallmark. Hallmark literally releases 42 brand new holiday movies, Christmas movies, every year. They average 36 brand new movies. And I mean, it's not terribly hard to do, but it is impressive if you think about it. All of those films are filmed with less than $2 million and are filmed in 3 weeks of time. 42 Christmas movies. It's crazy to think about too, when Universal, an actual film studio, only made 30 for the entire year of 2023. What's wrong with Universal? Get on Hallmark's level. But Hallmark isn't always great. They're not pristine. A friend of mine didn't understand why it was that I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Hallmark. I mean, other than the fact that it constantly encourages toxic, narcissistic, unhealthy relationships and tropes. But also, I pointed out to them that one can write a Hallmark movie that takes 3 weeks to film using 4 buckets and 5 minutes of time. I wonder why we're not friends. Anyway, to prove my point, because I'm the pettiest man on the internet, which is very hard to do on an election year, I have found. But I persisted in telling my friends that they had to come over and film this for YouTube of us playing a game that I made up, a fun little game, making Hallmark Christmas movies, literally using 4 buckets and 5 minutes of time. And what are those 4 buckets, John? Well, those 4 buckets include the girl boss tropes, also known as our main character. Thank you very much. Next, of course, to counteract our girl bossitude, we have to have the book boyfriend. He's too good to be true. Because he literally is. Next, of course, because it is a Hallmark movie, you gotta give it a little bit of Christmas zest. The thing that makes it not just a relationship movie, but a Christmas relationship movie. And finally, because it is Hallmark, you need to include a couple of red flags. Specifically one for each of your characters in order to drive the plot forward to the ultimate climax and resolution. Isn't Christmas? So anyway, I invited my friends over. We're going to go ahead. We're going to play this game where we take these 4 prompts. We get 4 or 5 minutes of time. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to create as many Hallmark Christmas movies as possible. I hope that you enjoy. I hope that you enjoy this holiday special. And would you look at that? My friends! They're actually here! Willingly!
Yeah, sure, John.
Alright.
So willing.
Anyway, guys.
There's no chains on my legs.
Anyway, I've explained the rules of the game. We're going to go ahead. Let's make some Hallmark Christmas magic. Alright. I had DJ and Pat fight each other nearly to the death earlier this week. And would you be surprised that Pat the Overpowered lost to DJ? So DJ, you get the honor of going first. Select your
It was actually a
prompts.
coin toss. I flicked it into his head and knocked him unconscious.
I thought it was a chocolate coin.
You really even dove for it? Okay, so, first up,
Who's your girl boss?
Girl boss. Slay. A.K.A. the main character. Oh, this is a big card. First off the bat, Ghost of Christmas Past Love. Misconnection, age down, time travel.
Alright. Give me another
Alright.
girl boss who's now aged down.
The reluctant heiress who has to move back to a small town to fix something up. As a child.
Alright, DJ, here you go. Here's your book boyfriend.
Alright.
To counter your girl boss lead.
The small town handyman, but he's hot.
That just seems made for that.
It's almost like we planned this, but we didn't! Alright. Christmas zest. What is
What
the
makes it a
Christmas
Christmas
theme? What's
movie?
the Christmassy part of this here film? Let's see. What do we got here? A Christmas heirloom is central to the plot, symbolizing family, love, and the Christmas spirit.
A broken down hen. Or home, or whatever she's trying to fix.
Yeah.
Alright, give me a red flag. One for your female character, and one for your male
Alright,
character.
so the red flag of our female lead is blames others for their problems, avoids accountability. Okay. I'm gonna put these two together so I know who's who. Stay flat. Stay flat. I need to know what you are. Okay. Now for our male. Ooh, this one. Let's see what this one is. Ignoring their partner's needs.
Typical small town hot handyman. Ignoring other people's needs.
Especially a child.
No, specifically their partners. Probably at the expense of them at everyone else's beck and call, I imagine.
Probably. Alright, DJ, you have 4 minutes.
Well, hold on. Let me summarize this real quick so I know what we're rolling with. Okay, so the main character is the reluctant heiress who has moved back to a small town to fix something up, who blames others for their problems and accountability, who is also aged down due to time travel, is
bumps into
our small town handyman who is hot, who has a tendency to ignore their partner's needs, and the central plot is a Christmas heirloom is central to the plot and symbolizes family love and Christmas spirit. So a Christmas heirloom is very important to the story.
Yep. Alright, you have 4 minutes. Give us the plot of your movie. Introduce our characters. Let us know the rising action that's being driven forward by their toxic traits, the climax of the film, the resolution, and finally, what do you name it? You have 4 minutes, DJ. Don't let Hallmark down. We have $2 million riding on this. Big air.
That seems like too much. So, we have the reluctant heiress. Her name is Charisse. Because it's a weird one and it makes sense for an heiress. Okay. So, Charisse. She is, well, we're going to say she's pretty well off. She's inherited her empire. She doesn't really do anything with it. She mostly just sits on that money and is bored with her life and feels like there's more that she needs to do. But she doesn't really know that draw until she learns that the old mansion that her, well, I mean, to her, not really a modest mansion, really, not a full mansion in this small town, is needing some need of repairs. And needs to be sold. Well, she inherits it, needs to sell it off. So, but it can't just be sold. It's haunted, needs some repairs. It's one of those old mansion types. You know the type that the kids make dares to go up to. So she decides she's going to go down there and get this house fixed up and taken care of so she can sell it and get rid of it. And she just You know, she just wants it out of the family. But you don't know why. You don't know what's bugging her about it. But she really wants this out of the family. She wants nothing to do with it. So she reluctantly goes back to the small town and bumps into none other than random hot guy number 1. Randomly, while coming to town, is the first person that she meets.
Is his name Random or Randy?
Actually, his name will be Thomas.
Ooh.
Because it's
Like
a
the
very
train.
because it's a very plain name against that Charisse who stands out. Thomas is just some plain name that you wouldn't think very much of.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not an important character. His name is Thomas.
Of course.
So you walk into the town, and she comes in asking for directions to the thing, bumps into him. They have a little bit of a kind of like a cat and mouse argument, kind of a little bit flirty, but also
Meow.
kind of, you know, catty in a way. And he ends up leaving, and she goes on to meet the house and the curator of the house she's going to go to. So she goes, gets this house, goes to sees what's wrong with it, and decides she needs to hire a handyman. Mm-hmm. So she calls up the only handyman in town to just how happens to be the guy that she met a little bit earlier. Mm. And she's, oh, well, this is awkward and weird. And he gives her a quote that seems way too much for her, and she says, oh, no, leave. I don't want anything to do with that. She says she'll get one of her guys from the city to come and take care of it.
Right, because she's a big city girl.
Because she's from the big city, and she's an heiress, and she might be wealthy, but she still doesn't trust that this small town man is worth as much as he thinks he is. Mm. Well, she starts doing some of the cleanup herself to get an idea of the place. She comes across a family heirloom that she'd forgotten about since childhood. Mm. And reminisces about it a bit and goes to bed. When she wakes up the next day, suddenly she's a child again from the last time that she had seen that heirloom. But everything else is the same. Everything else is back to normal times. But she is now young, and she now has to convince the handyman that she was the lady that was just there recently, but no one believes she is who she is, and they think she's a squatter in the house. And the whole thing comes about her trying to like deal with her past, her family problems that she used to deal with, and she deals with this whole thing of, you know, she has been avoiding her problems, her accountability her whole life. Now she has to face them head on. Meanwhile, the handyman is constantly trying to help people in town and stuff, but doesn't know how to be romantic because he doesn't know how to put his personal feelings into a relationship.
Especially with a young child.
That makes it even more complicated because she's starting to kind of fall in love with him because she's a grown woman in this body, but he's just like, this is a kid. But then eventually the climax is that she gets to go back to her regular, whatever resolution he realizes. They both realize their problems, and they come into consolidation with each other and smooth it all out. And then she gets to turn back into her normal self, and they move on with their lives together, of course, because it's a Hallmark film, and they're lovers now.
Okay, what's the name of your movie?
Oh, man.
The Christmas Timepiece.
The Christmas Timepiece is good. But it depends on, I was trying to think of what the heirloom would be, but now that I think about it, I don't know what it would be. I need your guys' help. Ooh, that's good.
And she gets younger.
Advent calendar. That's good. Every day till Christmas she gets younger.
And it's days past.
Yes.
There we go.
We did it. We did it.
Yes.
We did it, boys.
All right.
Some help from the gallery. We did it.
Excellent. All right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to increase the time to 5 minutes. I think 4 minutes may be a little...
It was a little tight.
A little tight. I mean, this is Hallmark. We can be generous with our underpaid writers. We can give them 5 minutes to come up with a Hallmark movie. Okay. And since it's Hallmark, DJ, go ahead and put all those right back in the buckets because we are not above recycling.
All right. Ignoring their partner's needs is a red flag.
Girl bossy and...
The town hall handyman, but he's hot. We know where that goes. Into the boyfriend.
That's right there.
Zesty zest.
Blaming others for their problems,
That's
avoid
a red
accountability. That'd be a red flag.
And another girl.
That actually sounds like a really fun movie.
Why do you think Hallmark makes 42 of them a year? They're all fun if you ignore how toxic they are.
Alrighty, people.
All right, Pat.
Let me throw my hat in the ring.
Don't do that one again.
All
Girl boss.
As you pull, I'll put them down here for us. Read it.
The reluctant heiress of a quaint but struggling bookstore in a small town she has to fix up.
I'm sensing theme.
We just did that. No, it's a bookstore. Specifically.
Alrighty. Book boyfriend.
Who is the male?
The small town handyman. But he's hot. Hey, you said we recycle.
That's so funny.
Every single one.
Alright, here's our zest. The only thing standing in the female's way lead is freaking Christmas.
Christmas, it's up. All right, let's get the 2 red flags.
All right.
Female and male.
I got 2 here.
There we go.
For the man, I hate you, so I must love you dynamic.
That was 100% Hallmark.
Here we go.
For the female lead, uses over-the-top ultimatums, emotional blackmail. If you don't live/choose me over X, I'm leaving forever.
This is a good dynamic.
Okay, to summarize for you, Pat. You have the reluctant heiress of a quaint but struggling bookstore in a small town she has to fix. Who uses over-the-top ultimatums, emotional blackmail. If you don't have choose me over X, I'm leaving forever. And her dynamic with the small town handyman, but he's hot. And he has a I hate you so I must love you dynamic. Toxic push-pull. The only thing standing in the female's lead's way is freaking Christmas.
And 5 minutes on the clock.
Sandra, back from the big city as her publishing job, has to fix up her grandparents' old bookstore to sell it off. This town has a deep history, though. They have a town tradition of giving books on Christmas Eve. And her store is the one that they all go to.
Of course, because it's the only bookstore.
Yes. Sandra's coming back, though. She doesn't want this store. She doesn't need it anymore. She's got her big job. She's got her publishing going on. And she does not take anything except her way.
Oh, she uses that over-the-top ultimatum against everyone.
There's her...
Every writer does.
There's her way. There is no highway. So she's coming back to the store. And it's a little beat up. It's got some books going everywhere. The shelves are falling apart. So you know what she's doing? She's going to find herself a handyman. But who else could it be but the boy that used to pick on her when she was a child? James.
James.
All right.
Sandra and James. All right.
Thank you for reminding me of her name.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for, Pat.
Thank you. So James, he's coming to help her fix it up, and he finds her grandparents' will to her. She can't sell the bookstore until she's owned it for one Christmas. So she's stuck in town. It's the 4 weeks leading up to Christmas, and she's stuck there, away from all her publishing needs. And she's stuck there with James, fixing up the bookstore. He's giving her side looks. He's like, you're so big now, you don't need this town, right?
He's sundering.
And Sandra's just like, you're going to get this done by Christmas or I'm not going to pay you at all.
Excellent use of the ultimatum. All right, how is this driving them towards each other?
James keeps talking about all the old memories he has in the store, and she starts to realize maybe he wasn't so bad after all.
All those times he was teasing me, he actually liked me.
Yeah.
Especially the time he gave me a wet willy before hanging me by the flagpole.
And she keeps seeing James in his short shirt, muscles rippling as he's repairing the damage. She's like, wow.
Oh, he picked on me, but I mean,
He grew up. He grew up nice, didn't he?
he grew up nice. She's thirsting for him over the counter. She goes, he grew up nice. That's her hand, like, bends the poles.
She keeps trying to find a way to sell the store before Christmas because she doesn't want to care. But she eventually thinks, you know what? Let's follow tradition one last time. And she gets James a book. And the book is an invite. They end up having a very lovely midnight reading session on Christmas Eve.
Uh-huh.
That's how they end up together.
That's how they end up together.
They read books.
Yeah.
Hopefully that book was a self-help or a psychology book. 'Cause we're gonna need it. And with a minute 20 to spare.
See, DJ?
Oh. All right, Pat, what's the name of your movie?
Sundari.
The Evergreen Press.
Oh! That is good.
That's straight fire. Nailed it. All right. Recycle all of them, except... Let's do one without the handyman first. We'll leave the handyman out. Yeah, we don't.
Why not? They can all be. Why not? They can all be handyman.
All right, my turn, or do you want to do?
Yeah, it's your turn.
All right, here we go.
All right, I hate so much, love so much dynamic. That it goes in toxic red flags.
All right. Johnny boy.
All right, here we go. Girl boss. Who is my female lead?
Uh-oh.
It's a handwritten one. It's a reverse love triangle. I need to pick an extra girl boss, and she's the girl that the lead has to steal from the man. And the female, and the other female has no red flags. Wow! All right.
Time to double dip.
Our main character is... She's a bitter relative of Santa's.
All right.
Who's the rival?
And the rival is... Oh, I got two there. The passionate entrepreneur. She's pouring everything into her small business.
Oh my God, that's perfect!
All right, who are they competing over?
And they are fighting over...
Oh my gosh!
Handyman!
She'll be like, you two deserve each other, and walks away.
The childhood best friend, but he's hot now. All right, give me some zest. Some additional zest.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's time to get zesty.
Oh, it's a long one. I think that mysterious town member may be Santa Claus. Spoilers, he totally is, and he got his eye specifically on our female character, but not in a creepy way.
Well, he is his relative, so that worked out way too perfectly. That's beautiful. All right, John.
Give me some red.
All right.
Remember, only for the leads, not for the
books. The entrepreneur. All right. For the female, she makes the other person jealous just as a plot device. Make them jealous or mad to make them realize their true feelings. Actually, I think I'm going to go with the male for this one.
Oh,
am I allowed to do that?
Yes, yeah.
All right. I think the man.
We did not set in the rules. You have to decide which goes. There's no order of red flags. You pick two red flags, decide who they go for.
All right, and my other red flag. They believe that love is a cure for all. Is a cure-all for personality flaws.
Oh, this is beautiful. This whole dynamic is great.
Okay.
All right, John.
Here we go. All right, ready?
Yeah, summarize.
It's a reverse love triangle. We got two girl bosses fighting over one man. Mm-hmm. Our female lead. She's a bitter relative of Santa's who believes that love is a cure-all for personality flaws. She is competing with the passionate entrepreneur who's pouring everything into her small-town business. They're fighting over the childhood best friend, but he's hot now. It appears as though he's trying to make the other person jealous, just as a plot device. And I think that's mysterious town member, maybe Santa Claus.
That his relative doesn't recognize.
Dad?
All right, I got 5 minutes, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go. 5 minutes. Here
Remember,
we
it
go.
is relative, so it could be any relative of Santa you want. So just reminding you of that.
All right. We open up on a small town. We have a young woman who comes into the small town after many years away. Her name? Noelle.
Oh.
She seems to be... She's been away on business for her uncle.
Mmm.
An uncle who seems very distant, but still close. She goes to the small town, and she runs into her childhood best friend, but he's hot now. Ooh. And he's already with another woman.
Albert the Elf? Sorry.
His name? Chad.
Oh.
Chad and Noelle. Perfect.
And he's all,
Chef's
but the
kiss.
problem is, he's already in a relationship with a local small town businesswoman by the name of Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're going about, they run into a mysterious town member who seems to have his eye on the female lead specifically. All right, so this is how we're going to do it. They run into each other. She meets him, and she's like, oh my gosh, he's hot now. I've been away at the North Pole for so long, I'm thirsting for myself some Chad. Chad, on the other hand, kind of knows that she may be a bit out of his league. It's a good thing that he's already in a relationship, because now it's gotten interesting. He goes to his girlfriend, Celeste, who's pouring her heart into her local business, which turns out to be a reindeer charity. Trying to make sure that every kid in a small town hospital has the magic of Christmas, not just represented by a mall Santa, but an actual real life reindeer.
She's a saint.
So,
Reindeer are expensive.
Noel and Chad seem to spend an awful lot of time together, but Chad makes it very abundantly clear that Celeste is a perfect woman, unlike Noelle. If only she tried better. If only she tried harder. Because Noelle is so perfect. And they're being followed around by a mysterious stranger that neither one of them seem to recognize. They continue to, will they, won't they, will they? I don't know. But they might.
Plot twist.
She starts discovering, though, that Chad may not be the nicest guy in town, considering the fact that he's talking to her an awful lot, despite being in love with this perfect woman who he's constantly trying to put in front of her. But that's okay, because right as she's about to break down crying, the mysterious stranger approaches her at the coffee shop, and he lets her know, I'm your uncle, and if I taught you anything, love covers a multitude of personality flaws.
Love
as long as you
conquers
truly love
all.
each other, you can be together and you can share in the heart of the Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes and she makes a big, bold proclamation. I know that you're already with this perfect woman, but I'll give anything at all, to be with you. And Chad accepts. They kiss. And the small town businesswoman is not mentioned after the first half of the film.
Just not even in the movie. Yep, that sounds about right. Yep. Wait, it's a Hallmark film. We can't show how she got hurt. She doesn't exist anymore. She just disappeared off the face of existence.
Oh no, the reindeers took her.
It could be a reindeer.
Actually,
her true love is a reindeer.
Actually, this being a Hallmark film, she accepts that he loves her, but she gets real reindeer. She gets Santa's reindeer out of it, so it all works out.
Oh, there you go. All right. In the film,
and she falls in love with Santa.
she does fall in love with Santa, the uncle, because she knows how to raise reindeer, and unfortunately, Mrs. Claus passed not too long ago, and he just needs somebody who gets him and his reindeer.
Especially the reindeer.
Especially the reindeer.
What is it called, John?
The name of the film? I had it. This is the hard part. Naming the film.
Pat, come on, man. What you got?
I don't know. I was thinking Sleigh Ride.
Jealous Noel.
Oh. Okay.
Jealous
That's good.
Noel. A Jealous Noel.
Okay.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
There we go.
Yeah.
And that's my Hallmark movie. We're back to DJ. After we go ahead and take all this, I think The Mysterious Stranger. That's Christmas zest. Other person jealous. Childhood best friend, but he's hot. I didn't fold that one up.
Yeah,
I want that one to come up again.
All right. Bear relative of Santa.
I got the girlfriend.
Oh, I got a big one. Oh, crap.
Believes that love is a pure.
Okay, redraw.
I don't want to do that one again.
He got aged out again.
I'm not gonna put. I'm not putting the handwritten one back if it's like that one. What's this one? Oh, goody. Whew. Combine the tropes.
All right.
Okay, so burnout actress. Draw 2 girl bosses and combine the tropes.
Come on, buddy.
We have to prove she isn't a has-been.
She can handle it.
She can handle it.
She can handle 2 tropes.
Okay. So,
If we get copyright struck for this because Hallmark's just like, we copyrighted this writing process.
No. What's gonna happen is we're gonna get a royalty check from Hallmark, and they'll just be like, "Thanks,
thanks.
you just gave us like 16 different movie ideas."
Okay.
Do I smell a sequel?
Alright, so our protagonist is an unwavering optimist. I sure hope she doesn't get constantly beaten down and gives up exactly 3 minutes before the climax of the film. And she's also the reluctant heiress of a struggling inn in a small town she has to fix up.
Okay. Reluctant area is a recurring trope. There's like 3 of them in that bucket.
All right, boyfriends.
The book boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Ooh, it's a long
Small town handyman.
The secretly wealthy recluse. He's mysterious. Rarely seen and low-key hiding he's loaded. With generosity and heart and money. And he's hot.
All right, zest to zest.
Oh, fudgies.
It's just a big prompt.
Oh, no, it's just a normal one. It's just not cut well. All right, we got the licensing for Random Christmas Song, and we have to use it. Player to the right picks the Christmas song. That'll be you, John.
Ooh, I get to pick a Christmas song. You can continue to pull. I'm going to think of one.
Oh, I got 2.
Red flags.
Ignoring their partner's needs. Okay, yep. And what is the other one? Unwilling to compromise, must always have their way. Oh, glory. That's a dangerous combination.
Who's getting who?
I'm always right, and I hate you. Alright, wavering out. My needs are I always have to be right. This one. Definitely this way. Okay.
All
So,
right. And your Christmas song is going to be...
come on, John.
Darn it! Is That You, Santa Claus by Louis Armstrong.
Oh, is that you, Santa Claus?
Okay.
That's him, all right!
Alright. So, our protagonist is an unwavering optimist that is also the reluctant heiress of a struggling inn in a small town she has to fix up. Unwilling to compromise, must always have her way. Who is going to develop a relationship with the secretly wealthy recluse. Mysterious, rarely seen, and low-key hideous. No, I'm joking. He says hiding. He's hot. He's actually hot. They're always hot. They're always hot. And generous of heart, and he's loaded. Okay, so, and he always ignores his partner's needs. And we got it all round. Is that Santa Claus?
Is that you, Santa
Is that you, Santa Claus?
Yes.
All right, DJ, you have 5 minutes.
And begin. So, This one's a little different. Now, so the heiress, she actually grew up in this town. She's from this town. She's not from the big city. She's from the town that she's in. She's grown up in this town. She knows everybody, or at least she thinks she knows everybody. And she goes away for a long trip doing school. She goes away for 4 years doing school during her college, and she goes all the way up to her master's program. So she's now been away from the small town for about 8 years, or six to 8 years, doing her long school run, so that she can take over the family business when she comes home. But before she's able to finish her final bit of schooling, her father suddenly passes away.
How tragic.
Tragically.
So tragic.
It's a good thing she's an optimist.
She is an eternal optimist. So she quickly pauses her school and runs back home in order to take over the family business, and who's now struggling because the dad's been running it by himself and he's been failing and ill. Didn't tell her. She thought this whole time he was doing okay, and she suddenly passed away. She turns out when she goes home, he's been hiding his illness from her and everyone.
Quick edit. Instead of "Is that you, Santa Claus?" Blue Christmas.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so when she gets home, she hears on the radio "Blue Christmas," which is a song that her and her dad had gotten to really appreciate once her mom passed away when she was younger. And when she was it was before she went to school, and he put all of her needs ahead of himself, so he never redated or was that she knew of. And she left, and she comes back to find out that he's been really ill for the last 3 or 4 years and has been keeping it from her. And she finds out that the inn has been struggling, and she had no idea. And so she suddenly has to work out a way to save the inn and get it back up to running. It's so run down, they can't even have guests. So there's not really any way to make money. So while she's trying to figure something out, she goes to some different stores to get some items in order to fix it up. She hears kind of like a moaning in the background of the store. She's like, well, that's weird. She goes back and she sees a man just sitting in the back humming to himself, rummaging through the back of the store and junk. And she goes to check on him, like, are you okay, sir? Is there anything I can do to help you? He's like, no, I'm fine, and pushes her away. He's too busy than whatever he's doing. And she's like, well, that's really weird. She's like, well, if you know what, I'm. He's like, oh, I don't know you or who you are. She's like, oh, I used to live here. I grew up here, but I've been out of town for a long time. And they kind of chat a little bit, and she mentions to him his problem, because he's like, notices something's up, and he goes, oh, what's wrong? Oh, I'm just, struggling, and I just don't really do. He's like, well, why don't you have town always has a big Christmas party, but no venue's been chosen this year. How about you host it at your place? I'll offer it to the town, get people in there and stuff like that. You just have to make it surface level, look real good in the party areas. You don't have to have the rooms made up or anything. And that'll bring in some revenue. Oh, that's a really good idea. And then she loses track of him. And she goes and starts doing all this stuff. And she wonders who that random dude was that just had this great epiphany idea. And she learns through the other people of the town that, oh, that's the local recluse. Like, we don't know him very well, but he's always around, like picking up bottles and doing random things. And she invites him a week before the big event to like give him some food, and things. She thinks like, well, he's homeless. He wants a warm place to stay. Would you like to stay here at the hotel? And he decides to go ahead and stay there with her, and he starts fixing up the place as there. And rooms start getting fixed, and things are getting better. She doesn't know what's happening. And when it comes to the night of the big event, she finds out the night before that he's actually an old friend of the family that was partial heir to her grandfather's fortune, which was left down when the family split. And everybody thought he was dead or had disappeared years ago. And she confronts him about it, and he gets angry and leaves. And they have the Christmas party, and it goes really well. And then he comes back to reconcile. And she learns that he's actually not been homeless this whole time. He's just been secretly helping the town he's been acting homeless in order to learn what people's problems are, then uses finances to fix things because he's not really good with his hands or good with his things, but he's wealthy, so he knows connection, he knows how to get things done. And so he's actually been fixing up all the things in the town and making things work and keeping things going. And it turns out that he knew the secret of her dad the whole time and was secretly helping him keep the business afloat without him realizing it. And it becomes a sweet thing. And Blue Christmas plays at the end to remind her of that childhood memory, and they connect once again.
All right, bonus question. Who is the burnt up, washed up actress that you're casting or want to cast? If you can think of one.
Anne Hathaway. She's not really burnt up, but she's older now, and I think it would be a fun thing for her to do.
Anne Hathaway. Okay. What's the name of your movie?
Home Hathaway.
Christmas half away.
Christmas Hathaway.
Christmas half away.
Oh my gosh.
Christmas without you.
Mm.
Blue, blue, blue. That's it.
Blue, blue, blue.
Blue, 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 blue. Christmas.
That one actually sounds like a really fun one too. Like this whole idea, like this dude has been secretly like keeping the town afloat, because he doesn't know how to talk to people. He's just bad at it.
Do we want another burnt out actress in there?
No, we'll leave the specialty one.
All right, Pat. Bring it out.
One of those ones again. Oh no.
Written. We have so many of these handwritten ones that are just floating out.
Well, because it ought to be fun, because then we get to use more of the other ones.
Oh, I got reverse love triangle again.
Oh. Well, that's
Make it happen.
Reverse love triangle isn't one that's bad.
It
to
is
repeat.
something that happens a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
It is Hallmark, man. We're not rocket scientists. We're love makers, but not in that way.
We've got hates Christmas for a very tragic and or completely self-centered reason.
You can choose, and or.
Keeps moving away.
I know.
The girl forced to return to her childhood home for a high school reunion, but on Christmas.
And that's
Okay.
the non-toxic one.
No. Non-toxic hates Christmas.
That's her only flaw. Her only flaw. She hates Christmas.
That's gonna be the splitter.
Oh my gosh, that actually makes sense for a Hallmark movie.
It does.
She hates Christmas. She doesn't deserve that man.
You got
All
it.
right.
And who doesn't she deserve?
She does not deserve the greatest chef who ever lived. He's a foodie and hot.
He just wants to bake cookies.
He loves Christmas. Why does she hate it?
He loves Christmas cookies.
All right, let's zest this pie like this chef.
On top of a Christmas high school reunion.
We've got. It's almost time for the annual Christmas festival that's central to the town's identity and the plot.
And that's why they're having the reunion.
That's it. I don't know how much more Christmas I can jam pack into this, but if it's Hallmark, it's Hallmark.
One of the red flags is also Christmas related.
All right, I got the 2 red flags here.
All right.
Believe love is cure-all for personality flaws.
That's a popular one.
And lie or leave out part of the story, self, or situation for their gain.
Oh.
I'm thinking female lead.
The female lead is the liar.
Female lead's the liar.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
And
okay.
love all is the chef, which is why you can get over the Christmas hater for now.
That is really good. Okay, all right.
All right.
Summarize your list, bud.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got reverse love triangle. We've got the girl first to return home for her holiday, for her high school reunion, but it's on Christmas. Who lies or leaves out part of the story for their gain. We've got the girl she's taking from that hates Christmas for a very tragic or completely self-centered reason. And she's dating the greatest chef who ever lived. He's a foodie, but hot, who believes love is a cure-all for personality flaws. And this is all happening at the same time as the annual Christmas festival that is central to their town's identity and the plot. Okay.
We all know who we're quoting. I'm not going to say their names, but we know who we're quoting on that. You know.
All right,
Christy's at home. She gets the letter from her school reunion. And wouldn't you know it, it's time for their reunion. And but it's almost Christmas. And the reunion's like right before it. What are they doing? This is crazy. So she's going home. She's like, you know what? It's been a while. I can use some time away from here. So she's going home to her town. It's a bit of a smaller town, They make a big deal. They have a lot more fun. They know everyone more. So they kind of make a big deal out of Christmas. There's always like a big hoo-ha. They've got giant tree they ship in. There's always a massive baking and cooking competition. She's going home. She's meeting a few of her old friends from high school. Some of them didn't leave. And, they're all talking about, it's crazy. Jimmy left and he just became such a celebrity chef, Like everyone's out there. He's cooking for everyone. He did the White House Thanksgiving one year. Ooh. And Jimmy's coming back, but he doesn't come back alone. He comes back with his fiancée.
Oh, they're committed.
Jimmy comes
Juicy.
He comes back with his fiancée. We'll call her
Francine,
the
fiance.
Francine, the fiance, because it works.
What was the chef's name?
Jimmy
the chef and Francine, and then the main character again.
Christy
Christmas.
Got it.
Christine.
Christine.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, I'm
Christine.
Just trying to keep everybody straight.
All right.
So, and her and Jimmy, they hung out a bit. They did like a home ec class together, and this is where she was like, "Oh, Jimmy, you're really a good cook." Like when he first thought about this, and so Christine gets drafted onto.
Call a chef a cook. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's Hallmark. We're not.
I'm a chef.
Christine and Jimmy both get drafted onto kind of helping set up for the Christmas reunion / party. Getting that cooking competition ready.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what, Jimmy, would you mind being one of the judges with how famous you are? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the judges are gonna be Jimmy, the town mayor, and the town Santa.
That makes sense.
He may or may not be the president.
It is a Christmas movie on Hallmark.
Proceed.
So Christy's just like, I've been living a great life, and I've got all this stuff that I'm doing back at home. She's not living a good life. She's making it by, but not like great. But she's just like, everything's good. I've got a fiance. He couldn't come to town though. He had to go for a business trip, unfortunately.
Seeing as he's fictitious.
But Jimmy, he's just like so excited about cooking and baking, and he's just like, I'm a chef, but I always love to bake too. And he's just kind of making he's making cookies, and Christy just sees his smiley face when he's making the cookies and sees all his jolliness, and Francine's just like, Jimmy, why do we have to come here? I don't like Christmas. We could have just gone to the Bahamas.
And you're baking Christmas cookies? My grandfather choked on Christmas cookies.
And you're making these Christmas cookies.
And the Grinch stole my Christmas!
Christmas is all just this big marketing ploy. Everything's fake. But Jimmy's like, it's so happy. You'll definitely love it. I know you'll love it. So they're getting ready for the festival and the reunion. And the night of the reunion, Susie's not feeling too well, so Jimmy's there alone. He's kind of like, he's not super popular, doesn't really know how to communicate. So Christy goes up and they dance, and they kind of just feel a spark. And then it's the day of the competition, and Susie decides that she's gonna bake a pie. And she bakes a pie, and she puts all her heart into it.
You mean Christine? Christine,
thank you.
I would say you've been using Christine
and
Francine.
Susie.
Well, Susie
That's the secret.
Susie has been replacing
misleading.
Francine and
Her real name's Susie.
Christine and
Christine
Francine
makes
are
a
actually
pie,
both Susie. They're the same
and
person.
she puts all of her love into it, and Jimmy can taste that love. He's like, you know, why don't we be together? And then they go off together, and that is...
And Francine is left in the dust.
Oh, Francine disappeared.
No, it's a Hallmark. She immediately finds another guy there, and they're fine.
I don't know. Francine makes a big stink because it's a Christmas cook-off.
Yeah.
She falls into Christine's pie, and Christine is just like, my pie! How am I ever going to get the man? And then he comes in, he's just like, that's the greatest pie I've ever tasted. And you love Christmas.
Yep. Name of the movie? Christmas Pudding.
Oh, that's good. Oh, no, and just as a fun ending, a very Scroogey looking guy comes in and goes, oh, Bahunga. She's like, my hero. Francine falls for Scrooge.
Alright.
Oh, another way you could have ended it is that literally the chef, because he's a chef, actually bakes a cooked goose for everyone.
Alright, we want this one back in there?
The love triangle?
Yeah.
We used it twice. We'll put it away for now. If we want it again, we will. Alright. Do we have all the girl boss tropes?
Yeah, I just got...
Alright.
It won't hurt if one of them isn't in there.
I want to get one of these big ones. Ooh, there's another one. Let's mix this thing up.
That's one we've gotten twice now, or 3 times. So, if we get a lot, I'm going to put it aside so we don't keep drawing it.
I picked 15.
I don't think that was an option. But okay.
Alright.
I think all the big
All
ones
right.
are drawn. Oh, they're still handwritten.
The secretly or buried creative. Sure hope someone can help her pull that out of the crippling weight of her demanding career. Who's going to do it? Alright, here we go. The book boyfriend.
John never gets the complicated one.
The goofy sidekick turned love interest. Who's hot?
Alright,
I'm sensing a theme.
I mixed it up. It's all good for him.
Alright, where's the...
Zest
where's
it
the
up.
Zest? Give me some Christmas zest. Here we go. Her father just wanted one last Christmas before blank. So I get to choose what he wanted before.
No. I have an idea for that one. Draw
Red flags.
No, draw another Christmas. Draw another Christmas one for the Blake.
Alright, I got two. Alright, one of the red flags. Charming persistence trope. Relentlessly pursues the other despite being told no, or the other character showing no interest. Ooh. That's going to this goofy sidekick.
Yep.
Alright.
I mean, they're practically stapled together.
Yeah.
Alright. No interest in working on themselves. Alright. Should I do another Christmas trope?
Yes.
For the last Christmas before?
For the blank. This is the thing. This is the thing that he wanted.
Alright. Her father just wanted one last Christmas before. A Christmas heirloom is central to the plot, symbolizing family, love, and the Christmas spirit. Alright, I think I got it. Alright. To recap for everybody. My Hallmark movie is about the secretly creative person who has the demanding career. Her name is going to be
Marcy.
We'll go with Marcy.
Okay.
Marcy has no interest in working on herself. Her goofy sidekick friend, who's hot now, and has the charming persistence trope. We're going to call him Percival, Persistent Percy. And the plot is that her father just wanted one last Christmas before they had to chop down the family's Christmas tree in the front yard.
Ooh.
It's getting too big and too close to the house, unfortunately. They gotta tear it down.
That's a big deal.
All right. Here we go. All right. So, what was her name? Marcy?
Marcy.
All right. Marcy comes. Oh, we'll make sure that I got my timer here so I don't go on tangents. That never happens. All right. So
I got too deep into my plot. I was too enjoying it too much.
All right. So Marcy comes back into town because her father has informed her that unfortunately the old pine tree isn't looking so good. It's getting a little too close to the house. They're going to have to chop her down. The HOA. The HOA wants them to chop it down.
Oh, that's good.
And so Marcy comes back and she's just like, oh, gee willikers. I have so much going on at work. I got this like great career going on and I'm working myself to death. And that's just me. I'm a career woman. That's all I am. That's all I'll ever be. But I guess since Dad actually almost showed emotion on the phone, something he's never done as a gruff exteriored man by the name of Rufus.
Dad has a name in this one.
Yeah.
So she comes back home and she's just stares at this giant tree. And she's sitting there and she's just like, Rufus always did like the bare minimum in order to really decorate this tree. I wish that he had done something more, but damn it. I'm a career woman, not a creative. And her childhood friend walks by. Rufus. Not Rufus. Percy. Persistent Percy. He walks by.
Every male in this film is named Rufus.
And he walks up and he's just like, oh my gosh, Marcy. It's been so long since I've seen you. And then he proceeds to not leave her alone for more than 5 minutes this entire movie. Because he is persistent. Persistent Percy.
Oh, you're hot now. Yeah.
She keeps trying to have these private conversations with her dad. Maybe he's a big old softy. But in fact, he's just like, oh, I'm surprised they didn't tell me to tear down the tree earlier. It's just a big old tree. Never mind the fact that it's, my grandfather, his grandfather, the great-grandfather, all the way through until the very beginning of all creation decorated this tree specifically for Christmas. I'll be damned, Christ himself was born under that tree. But it's just a big old stupid tree. I don't know why I'm getting so choked up over it. I just want one last Christmas with this tree that also your mother's buried under.
I don't know why it means so much to me. I mean, your mom's buried under there. I don't think that's related.
Meanwhile, Percy just is not letting Marcy forget how incredible and amazing she is. And the way that he's going to do that is by constantly being around her and reminding her how great she is. Wow, Marcy, you're so great. Remember when you used to be creative? Whatever happened?
Hint, smacking her with the script.
He keeps pushing her and he keeps pressuring her and he keeps giving her gifts, little creative things. And finally he's like, oh, I just wish that you could see yourself as I see you. And he hands her a drawing pad. Why don't you just try something for good old Percy?
I know
Draw
exactly who plays this part.
Anyway, they're constantly pushing each other. She doesn't want to change, but he just wants her to know that he loves her. I mean, he likes being around her because people like being around her. I mean, even though he's the only person that's around her this entire film. He doesn't leave her alone. And eventually she just comes to an epiphany. The tree means something to my dad. And the only way to save it from the evil HOA is to actually show them just how wonderful and how beautiful it truly is. And she takes all the stories that her father has told her over the years, from the beginning of literal creation. Adam and Eve picked a fruit from that tree. And she decides to build this intricate display that shows the entire story of the tree as told by her father, the big softy, Rufus. And finally, the HOA sees it. The HOA board walks up, and he just walks up and he's like, Damn it, Mercy. That's a beautiful tree. We can't tear that down. It means too much to good old Rufus, our best person in the entire neighborhood.
Let's tear down the house instead.
That's the sequel. But
either the house or the tree has to go, Rufus. You gotta pick.
And even though this entire movie she's been persistent that she didn't have to change, finally her father just lets her know, somebody must really love you to get you to finally come out of your shell and be willing to embrace your creative side once more. You should totally be with that person, whoever they are, because they make you better. And she ends up with Percy. Persistent Percy. And they live happily ever after.
All right.
The end.
Percy's played with Chris Evans.
Name of the movie.
Name of the movie?
Ghosted.
The name of the movie. The Christmas Tree.
Oh, that's there you go. Sorry, that just reminded me way too much of Ghosted, the whole persistent thing. Grinch's head has been evaporated. Okay, so I say, since we don't have enough time to do it all round, we do one last one with all of us.
Where we all get together and make one?
We all get together and we make one as a team effort.
Alright, let's not reuse any of these then.
Yeah, let's put them down.
Let's put these all out. I sure hope that we pick that one girl boss trope. Wait, can we pick that specific girl boss trope?
Which one?
The Survivor one?
Oh.
Draw again, Cougar Alert, age up the girl boss, boyfriend is still young.
And I've got us a love triangle.
Oh!
Ooh. Alright, let's go ahead.
Alright, find the one you want.
I'm trying my best.
A grump with a heart of gold in the body of a Greek god. Cold, brooding, closed off, and until the female lead finally breaks through that tough candied exterior to a soft, caring core.
Alright, do we want to do the stereotypical Hallmark one, or do we want to do the Survivor?
Stereotypical Hallmark.
Alright, here it is. The stereotypical Hallmark. It's the longest one we've got. Ready for this?
Yeah, read it.
Alright, ready? Our female lead is in a relationship with a good guy with a good job who genuinely loves her. But darn it, the cancer kids he's saving as a volunteer surgeon just all collectively took a turn for the worst. And so he couldn't immediately join her the second time in 4 years together. Hope she doesn't meet literally any man with a pulse not related to her.
And the second of the love triangle.
Oh my gosh, an extra love triangle!
Yeah, but I've got two.
No, wait, but they're not the surgeon.
Yeah.
It's fine, there were two men. She has to choose. It's a love square.
The sensitive artist who finally finds his muse in the female lead, and he's not in crippling student loan debt, and is an unsufferable barista or financial unsuccessful, and he's hot. All right.
What was the other one again?
The other one is a grump with a heart of gold in the body of a Greek god. Christmas trope?
Yeah, what's that one?
Oh, nope.
We already did that one?
Yeah.
No.
Here we go. Oh, Christmas in July! It's a summer movie! Oh my gosh!
Do another trope.
Yeah,
Let's
this one is a draw again. I just didn't write it on there.
Yeah, it's just in July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow it's in July.
Somehow it's in July. Here we go. No, it's not gonna work.
A freak snowstorm strands the female protagonist in her hometown, which she was only in to drop presents off for her parents, much of her siblings who still believe in Santa Claus like idiots. Her hometown is Hawaii. She can't.
A freak
She can't. No. The snowstorm is in Hawaii. She can't fly back.
No, the storm
To Canada.
snowstorm is in Hawaii.
It's in Hawaii.
Freak snowstorm.
Okay, people.
In July.
Christmas Eve, double or nothing.
Oh, we got all of them!
Draw 2 more red flags per character and choose 2.
Yeah. So we draw 3 for every character and have to choose 2 for each. Oh my gosh, this is gold!
Alright. Oh no. No.
Christmas Eve, double or nothing. Draw 2 more red flags the character and draw 2! Alright!
Dump the bucket. We're the most toxic people who've ever lived.
Alright.
So they all get 4 traits each?
We're not gonna be able to track it.
Oh my gosh!
Alright, here's 5.
They're all literally just the worst human being who ever lived.
We've got...
Makes the other person jealous just as a plot device. Okay, this is going to our female lead over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got unattentive / neglectful to partner.
Put that to
The other one that's not the gruff.
The artist.
the
Yeah,
artist.
give it to the artist.
Okay,
It's kind of a loop.
that's the artist. Okay. The greatest chef who ever lived. He's a foodie and hot.
Oh, that got thrown in the wrong one.
Yeah, that's in the wrong one. It's a red flag. Foodies, man!
Just leave your life behind for me, a person you barely know. Unrealistic sacrifice.
Let's go with the rough man.
Just leave your life behind. Yep, gruff man.
Because
One-sided change, unequal effort. Expects a partner to change everything about themselves to fit their role. That goes to the protagonist. That's why she's leaving the perfectly normal guy. Is literally the worst human being ever, but they're hot.
Alright, how much she got right now?
She's got 3. She needs one more.
Alright, highly dramatic.
You think?
Unwilling to compromise, must always have their way.
That's the gruff man with the heart.
Heart of gold.
We've got
It's not a heart of gold.
dishonest / secretive.
The heart of gold.
He's not a heart of gold.
Explosive / unchecked emotions. Artist.
Artist.
I thought that just goes hand in hand.
Use that one already. Fights often with love interest.
Yep. Artist.
Gruff one.
Gruff.
Gruff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Lack communication / constant miscommunication.
That's
Artist.
because he's unattentive. Alright, what's the trope? I don't even think we're going to be able to make a plot.
This is the plot.
Unwilling to self-examine, accept feedback, or apologize.
That's
Artist.
They've all got 4.
Okay.
Okay, just let's slowly talk it through, and that'll be our movie. And we make the story. We make like a couple of.
Did we get a Christmas zest?
Yeah, we've got
Christmas in July and a freak
Christmas
storm.
is July.
Freak storm.
Freak
Okay,
snowstorm.
Read the freak snowstorm one again.
Okay,
That
so
actually was- all
all right. We have the setting is Christmas in July. A freak snowstorm strands the female protagonist in her hometown, which she was only in to drop off presents for her parents and a much younger siblings who still believe in Santa Claus, like idiots. Her hometown is in Hawaii. The snowstorm was back home. It's in July. It's a freak snowstorm. Still, she's now stranded in Hawaii with her family.
Who believe in Santa Claus in July? They're lunar.
Yeah.
The reason that she's dropping off Christmas presents in July is because she wants very little to do with her family and they drive her crazy, and she's doing it way early to check it off her list.
Makes sense.
6 months ahead of time. Here, it's your Christmas. Christmas isn't for those 6 months. Yes, you're welcome. I got it done. So, our protagonist is a cougar. She's in a relationship with a good guy, with a good job, who generally loves her. But darn it, is Cancer Kid saving volunteers to be... He's a saint, okay? He's a saint.
He made the snowstorm happen because one of the kids is a Make-A-Wish kid, and he just wanted it to snow one last time.
Yes! And Santa did... It was Santa himself granted the wish. Makes other persons jealous, but she makes other persons jealous just as a plot device. She has one-sided change. She expects everyone else to change, but not herself. She is literally the worst human being ever, but she's hot. And she's highly dramatic.
And
That's just a given.
her love interests are a grump with a heart of gold in the body of a Greek god, who just leave your life behind for me and a person you barely know. I want you to sacrifice everything, unwilling to compromise, but must always have their way.
They're both polar opposites.
Dishonest and secretive, and fights often with the love interest.
I was incorrect. They're the same person, which makes them not work together because they both are selfish as hell.
And then our other...
The other
love square.
Like a love pyramid.
Our other side.
It's a D4.
Our other side of the love pyramid is a sensitive artist who finally finds his muse in the female lead, and he's not in crippling loan debt, an insufferable barista, or unsuccessful. And he's hot, but he's unattentive / neglectful to his partners, explosively unchecked emotions, lacks communication and constant miscommunications, and is unwilling to self-examine, accept feedback, or apologize.
So these are just awful people.
Except for the man she's cheating on.
Who's perfect in every way.
He's a cancer.
The relationship is it's her husband. It is her husband.
It's specifically...
And he dies in the snowstorm while she's with these guys so that it removes the guilt from the situation.
That's what it is. He just, like, halfway through the film, right as the climax is happening, she's falling in love with these two guys, and it's just like, something awful happened.
Your husband,
Jesus, died.
Your husband was driving to the hospital for his surgery when his car careened off the road with the black ice.
Jesus,
your husband
died.
Your husband died saving the last reindeer in town that ran into the middle of the road.
It's just like, oh, thank goodness.
At least he died doing what he loved. Screaming behind his car. Careening off a cliff.
All right.
Okay, so all of these people are extremely toxic. So stereotypical Hallmark. The two most toxic people are the ones that have to end up together. Which of the
artist?
Is it the artist?
The artist.
I don't know that the rough guy.
The artist. No, because these are all qualities you can overcome fairly easily. Like these are things that he has because he doesn't have romance. This guy is broken from the inside out. These are like deep flaws he's got. Like they are embedded in his character.
Angry.
Yes, he's bitter and angry and upset all the time. This guy's, he can be a little dishonest, but he's more normal. Like these are normal traits. He's a little dishonest. He's a little like white. That could be white lying. Fights all with love interests. He has passion. This guy is just angry all the time.
They're better suited for each other, but she still picks the worst man.
The female lead's name is Beatrice.
Okay, so Beatrice. I've got the start of the film. I can start this.
Is her husband Dante or not? Oh. What's his name? Who's the main protagonist in Dante's Inferno, the video game adaptation? The Crusader. What's his name? Literally goes through hell for her.
I thought it was Dante. But
no, Dante's...
Dante?
Yeah, it's Dante, because his guide is Virgil.
The poet.
No, that's Virgil.
Oh, Virgil is the poet, so it is Dante.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so the movie starts out with her in this great relationship with this guy, but she's hitting her midlife crisis. She's just kind of feels bored. She likes him. She loves him. She's bored. She hit
her midlife crisis 20 years ago. She's a cougar.
She's in her midlife. She's in her late 40s. She's just like she's feeling.
I thought cougars are like 60.
No, cougar is just anyone who goes for a younger man. Period. Oh. A lot of times the traditional cougar.
Once you get farther up, you get turkey vultures.
They do have different names for them too, but generally cougar is like a mom age, like late 30s or 40s who's had kids generally, and not necessarily an older woman, like just older than the boy she's going after.
At least a 10-year age difference.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
So she's in the late 40s. She's still beautiful. She's doing well for herself. She's got a great husband who just really cares about the kids and stuff, but they've just it's been a little rocky the last couple of years. She's just feeling bored and she wants some excitement in her life. But she's also bitter and everything about her family. She's got some personality flaws with her family. And so she decides she wants to knock Christmas off her list early.
Yeah. because of the husband, he's decided, you know what, I can take some time off. Let's go on a cruise. The cruise is going to take them through December. So she goes back home early to drop off Christmas presents.
Because her stupid family still believes in Santa. Like idiots.
Yeah.
That makes her seem less of a monster.
Well, no, because she's
manipulating
the doctor,
yeah.
You know, Dr. Sexy is making sure that she's trying to be a good person. The midlife crisis may actually turn her into not the devil.
You're right.
So they're like, you know, let's go on a cruise, like a 6-month cruise, just you and me to reconnect. So she's dropping off presents with the family first, preemptively, because they're gonna be like on the other side of the globe around Christmas. And she doesn't want to come back for that.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Right.
She doesn't want to come back for it, and what ends up happening is one of the Make-A-Wish kids actually makes a wish that he wishes that he could have a final Christmas with his family, but he's not going to make it to December. Yeah. So Santa Claus miraculously makes it snow in July. Her flight is canceled because you can't fly into major city through rerouting in another city and getting a rental car because it's a Christmas miracle. Yeah. The entire United States covered in snow.
Canada.
That's where her hometown is.
Her hometown, Hawaii still, but she's leaving Canada to Hawaii.
She can't get back to Canada because it snows in July. It does actually snow in July sometimes in Canada.
All right, so she ends up running into these two guys in her hometown. We got the gruff
they live really far north in Canada.
Gruff, rough, and tumble guy, and the creative who actually is financially successful. She ends up running into them. She starts kind of falling for the
Greg.
guy. Greg?
Greg, the gruff guy.
Greg the gruff.
Who's the artist?
The artist
Alexander.
Well, no, it's not Canada. I was going to be like Pierre.
Alexander.
It's like Canada. No,
it's a long, pretentious name. Alexander, and he makes sure
Alexandric.
There we go.
But this is Hawaii. Oh wait, it's Hallmark. They're all white.
There are also white people in Hawaii.
I know. I'm just.
And it's an artist, so it's probably definitely a white person who's trying to feel the local culture.
Trying to feel the spirit of the islands.
Yes.
He's a completely toxic person who's just like, I feel the most at ease on the beach.
Yeah. His name is Alexandric, though.
Yes.
Alexandric.
Yes, 4 syllables.
But he also goes by
Lex.
Palm leaf.
Palm leaf. That's good.
That's beautiful. Palm leaf. All right. So she ends up falling for both of these guys. She ends up falling for the artist more because he is actually an awful person. And he does not make her better.
He is,
but they have passion, damn it.
He is about 10 years younger than her. And he just loves drawing her on the beach.
He does. All right.
But you guys end up fighting over her. So when she's like on the beach and stuff, the gruff guy's like, because he keeps saying, leave your husband. He's like, leave your husband, come with me. He's a beach bum. He's like, come with me. And he's over here drawing them and like trying, and they're like the pull between the two. The artist doesn't actually want anything to do with her. No, she's falling for him. She's falling for the toxic artist who's aloof, while the other guy's trying to get her attention.
Yeah. Okay, here's another kicker. Since it's a Hallmark movie, we've already kind of overblown our budget by going to Hawaii in the middle of July. But hear me out. The artist is a local caricaturist.
Ooh,
he draws a caricature of the two of them fighting, where he's literally like giving her his heart, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, that's so gross." And she goes with the artist because he's actually good at drawing art. Caricature. The Christmas caricature.
Yes. Okay. But when it's starting to climax, she realizes what she's doing is wrong. She's just flirting. It's innocent, right? But she's getting a little too deep. And then she realized she really has to give up. Her husband passed away.
Her husband passed away.
Ring. And she gets...
Is that...
Oh, hello?
Destiny?
Oh, no. He was rushing to the hospital for an emergency surgery to save a kid's life, and black ice took him off the road. Oh, dears me. Oh, woe is me!
And then she actually spends the next quarter of the film like miserable because she actually did love him and she's realizing that. But then the two characters that she met help.
By last quarter of the film, you mean like 5 minutes of film time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally like the next week, she's just like, oh my gosh, Alexandra. Or
Alexandric.
Alexandric.
I was actually thinking if you make it more like a real, like, because they generally don't like do this kind of thing unless there's like a resolution that makes everyone happy. You do a time skip. She comes back to Hawaii later, like this. It was just a fling, but she kind of got over it because she goes back home to like take care of her affairs. When she comes back to meet her family again, it's like 2 years later, and she rekindles her romance with the artist who has grown as a person, and so has she since the death of her husband, and they grow together.
He didn't grow as a person.
Yeah, palm leaf.
You have to have
Palm leaf did not grow.
You have to have
palm leaves don't grow. They flow.
Hallmark movies, everyone always. The thing about Hallmark movies is like all of a sudden all of the red flags go away somehow. Like they get past it,
or they're extremely prevalent, but they work together like just puzzles.
That's yes.
Palm leaf is finally unfurled.
Your toxicity just my toxicity, your toxicity.
Oh,
two
no.
negatives make a positive.
No,
baby.
I have a fix for this actually to make this work even better that way.
Okay.
When she's on the island the first time, it's actually the guy, the gruff guy of the Heart of Gold that she's more interested in. And the artist she's aloof to, and when she comes back it flips. It's a two-parter, like
because
a mini
the gruff
series.
guy actually fixed himself. He's not interesting anymore.
Yeah.
And she's changed too because her husband actually died.
Yeah.
So when she goes out there for the fling in the original, the artist is like fawning over her secretly, but she's more interested in the beach guy because that's flirting and it's fun. Yeah. But when she comes back a couple years later, the artist, she's more interested in him because he's more grounded and more like the relationship she had with her husband. And she realized she missed that. And even despite these flaws, just all these flaws can be overcome. I mean, none of them are impenetrable. But you have it where she comes back and with the artist this time on the return trip, and it's a two-part, like a mini-series. That would be fun.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so...
And this movie comes out on Christmas Eve!
Actually, yes, it is. It would be the Christmas Eve release.
The Christmas Eve movie. Yeah. This is awesome. This is like my favorite one of the whole bunch. Like
the Christmas caricature.
The Christmas caricature. Oh, that's so good.
Christmas caricature. All right.
That's even a good red herring and a good title because in the first one you think the caricature is the main point of the film, but it's actually the lost love and he doesn't get her in the end. But in the second part he does, so it fulfills that.
It's deeper because the story itself is a caricature. Which is what we've been doing this entire time, making fun of Hallmark. Anyway, I think that we have gone on long enough. We've had a lot of fun. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas from us here at Entertainment.
Feliz Navidad.
Anyway, we hope that you guys have a good one. See you all in the next video in the next year. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Leave us a like. Let us know what you want in the next new year. What are you looking forward to the most? We're looking forward to it. Otherwise,
and if you want us to do this again, because this was fun, we will do it again.
If you want this to be a Christmas tradition, I am down.
This is great.
I'll see you last year.